So another thing that somebody asked was, what is your vision for incorporating projects into the math curriculum at the early stage? Like for instance, like algebra and geometry, and not just the machine learning course, but all throughout the high school and even elementary math. Have you considered interspersing coding or optional coding projects throughout the curriculum, starting with algebra or any particular level? The answer is yes. And Jason, I think you can talk about how cool that's going to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember mentioning that to you at one point in one of our daily phone calls, and I was like, look,
Yep.
I'm just thinking about it. I mean, if we're, because I think you were doing a lot of work in the computer science course, and I'm like, I think what we would like to do is if we could create like, I don't know if we go down to algebra one, maybe we start with like algebra two and trig or something, and like algebra or pre-calculus or something, algebra two and trig with coding, right? So you would have at least a basic understanding of variables and functions and operations and stuff. So something to build on. And having completed Algebra 1 or Integrated Math 1, whatever. And then we get to Integrated Math 2 or Algebra 2 and Trig or whatever, and we have like a with coding option. And so we have, whatever, a dozen coding projects or more, maybe smaller coding projects. We really integrate it. So it's not, but I think that would be super cool. I think a lot of kids would really enjoy it. Now, some kids wouldn't. They'd be like, I don't care about coding. It's just frustrating, whatever. But for the kids that do care, it would probably make something that would otherwise not be very exciting for them into something that they love. And it would give them a deeper and more intuitive feel for some of it. I mean, I know it was for me. I remember talking to a friend of mine who years ago was telling me about how when he took chemistry in high school, he wrote some coding to like do the chemical equations and stuff. And then he just like aced everything because he did all his chemistry homework through coding, writing programs to solve the problems, and then he really became awesome at chemistry, which you would, because you have to think really hard about, okay, well, there's these ionic bonds, there's covalent bonds and numbers, and you got to write variables. You're really thinking hard about all this stuff. That'd be cool. I think that'd be cool. I would love like pre-calculus or calculus with coding.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, well, that's like one of the things about pre-calculus and calculus is like that's the point where you're getting into math that you can actually apply to really cool stuff. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's kind of limited application of like linear equations because it's so easy to do by hand, right? Why do you
Mm-hmm.
need to code something to do that for? But when you get into pre-calc and calculus, you start dealing with complexity that like can actually, if you code it up, you can do cool stuff. So yeah, why not show that off? And yeah.
That's something that I've been we've talked about, and I've had in my background that I absolutely want to do, because a lot of times we talk about Math Academy. It's like we're trying to build what we wish was around when we were in high school or college or younger. Like, we always say, God, I wish I had this. Like, this is what we're trying to build. Would I have loved Algebra 2 with coding? Yes. Well, guess then we're going to build it. Because that would be awesome. Now, not for everybody, and that's fine. But that's what we're trying to do is we're trying to make a math learning platform that can be very effective for a wide range of students, whether you're someone not a quote unquote math person, you struggle with math and you want to spend as little time on math as possible just to get the math done so you can go do what you really want to do, all the way up to the math team super genius who wants to be 4, 5, 6 years ahead in math. I think we can service all those people, and by not only building a system that's adaptable, but also configurable, right? So the system adapts to students' strengths and weaknesses, to the rate of learning, et cetera, et cetera. But it also is configurable in terms of like students who want a more advanced course, or they want more competition league stuff, or they want or competition problems, or they want coding integrated, so that we can really kind of fine tune a course to fit a student. So it's like if you hired a really amazing tutor, and you're like, well, I got 3 kids. I got one kid who's a super nerd, loves coding, loves science, wants to do all this stuff. I have one who's a good student, but isn't like super is the honors class, but isn't gifted or something, and is not well, likes to get A's, but isn't beyond that. And then I got one who's on an IEP and has dyscalculia. By the way, those are my three kids. So I got the whole spectrum. So it's like I got the kid who struggled with fractions and struggled with times tables. I got the whole thing. So whatever kind of kid you got, like I'm with you. I know the pain of all three. And so if you hired a really good tutor and you said, I'm going to how much you work for each three, the tutor would adapt and go, okay, well, with Izzy, we're going to do this. And I got some stuff that I think I can get her excited about. And we're going to work on her math facts and we're going to work on her confidence and we're going to do this. And then I got, Ari, and we're going to get her, Colby, we're going to have do Risco and we're going to do, MIT, right? So the whole thing. So that's what we're trying to do, is so that we can have, and we're not there yet, but that's our goal. And I think having coding built into high school and even university courses would, like linear algebra with coding. You could do that, maybe.
Yeah.
Notorious.
Yeah, totally. And it's one of the things that, like, if you know math but you don't know coding, you're missing out on a very easy opportunity to expand your surface area to do cool things. And the sooner you can kind of expose a student to real coding, not just like dragging blocks
Or
into
even just
some,
putting up a web page, like actually,
yeah,
like really
actual
problem solving.
coding logic that does
Coding
something,
logic.
leveraging math, using both math and coding as tools to do cool stuff. Then
We always
yeah,
say it's like a
the better.
superpower.
Yeah,
Together, that's a real superpower. And being able to write code and really understand code is by itself extremely useful. Being really good at math opens all kind of academic doors and is really important in the academic sphere. When you combine them together, it's a superpower.